What's up guys, it's Louis from Wood Unlimited, and in today's video tutorial I'm going to show you how to go into Lightburn and create a Christmas ornament from scratch. In just 15 minutes you'll be able to take a piece of scrap wood like this and turn it into a Christmas ornament like this. Sound interesting? Stay tuned, I'm going to show you how. Alright, so we're over here in Lightburn and we're ready to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to click on my circle tool, and then I'm going to hold shift as I drag my circle out. That just keeps it proportioned. If you don't hold shift, you'll kind of get ovals and it's hard to make sure you have a perfect circle, but if you hold shift, it'll make sure that all of it is exactly the same. Alright, so should have held shift. Alright, so let me do it one more time. Alright, so I'm going to hold shift, draw my circle. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to change that layer to a red layer because that's my normal cut layer. Okay, so a good size for a Christmas ornament ends up being around 4.5 inches, typically somewhere in that ballpark. You can make it any size you want, but that's normally what I do after I take into account the loop that goes on top. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to duplicate my circle. So I'm going to hold control and I'm going to press D. Or you could copy and paste, or you could use, any method that you'd like to use. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my circles and I'm going to create an inside contour. So I selected my circle, I hit the contour button, and I'm going to select the inside contour of about 1/4 of an inch. So that'll be the thickness of the border around the perimeter. All right. So we got that. Okay, so we've done that. So now we're going to take our circle tool again and we're going to hold shift and we're going to drag out to about the size. We're going to estimate what size we think our loop ought to be at the top, the hole for the ribbon where you hang it. Okay, so I've gone out about that far and we're going to do put a hole in the center. And I think I'm going to go just a little bit larger. 0.19. All right, so I went with a 0.19, and you can play around with that a little bit until you figure out what size that you want. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to put it here, and we are going to highlight everything on that particular circle on that side, and we're going to center that so we make sure we're dead in the middle. So vertical center, you can see it shifted just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to select everything again. Now we're going to use our weld tool over here just to weld those shapes together. All right, now we get it all one. It's starting to look like a Christmas ornament. And I know I created this circle in the beginning, but I actually think I'm going to get rid of it. What you can do now is you can just take this outer perimeter and that inner hole, and now you can hold control and hit D to duplicate. Okay. All right, now we want to get rid of that inner ring. So I'm going to right click this and I'm going to hit ungroup, and I'm going to delete the inner ring. All right, so now I've got 2 layers for a Christmas ornament. You can see they're exact same size. One is the back plate over here on the right, and the other is the front plate, the ring that's going to go on the front. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, and I have already copied to my clipboard a snowflake. I just pulled a snowflake off the internet and I'm going to paste it right in here. Okay, so this is actually like a JPEG or something like that. It's not actually a vector image. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to select trace image, and that looks pretty good, no adjustment needed. So we've traced the snowflake and I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to drag this off. I'm going to go ahead and delete that image and I'm going to select the snowflake. All right, so what I want to do here for this particular design is I'm going to take a snowflake and I want to merge it with this top plate for this particular Christmas one. So I'm going to take it here and I want it to just overlap a bit. I think I want it to be just a little bit smaller than that. So I'm going to change this down to 3.25 and see what I get. Oh, 3.25. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit smaller, 3.15. And what I'm trying to do here is just make sure that there's an overlap for each one of those tips of the snowflake with the edge of the ornament, because we're going to weld these shapes together. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to ungroup
this outside image. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to select this inner ring, and then we're going to hold control and we're going to select the snowflake. And then over here in our weld tools, we're going to select this third option, which is subtract one shape from another. And when we do that, you can see how it all merged. So when you cut this out, you'll be left with just the snowflake, just the outer ring. And then what you can do after you've cut it out is you could paint this front piece one color. Let's say you paint it white because it's a snowflake, and then you paint your back piece over here a different color, maybe red or green or whatever you want to paint it, and then you'll have a white front with a different color background, and that contrast will look nice. Then you glue the two together after the paint dries, you put a ribbon through it, and you've got a very simple snowflake ornament. Alright, so you could stop there, but if you wanted to add just a touch of personalization to your ornament, you can insert a nameplate across the center, and then you can type in something like Merry Christmas, or if you want to type in a name or a date or whatever it might be, then you can do that. So we're going to use our rectangle tool or our square tool, and we're going to draw out a rectangle. And I'm going to go, just because I already know the width that I need, 0.83 inches. And you want to take, and you just want to make sure it will extend out into the outer perimeter. So sorry, 0.83. I'm just going to make it just a little bit longer, and now it will extend all the way into that perimeter circle on both sides, centered. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to drop it. I think I just moved it over a little bit, so I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to try to keep it pretty symmetrical from top to bottom. Okay, so now what you do is you'll select this inside pattern that we've got here, and then hold control and select your rectangle, and then you're going to use this third weld tool again. There you go. And now you've got a snowflake ornament with a line across the middle separating. Looks like we got a little extra line there. We'll just ungroup and we'll delete that shape out so nothing cuts out. And then now we can enter any kind of text that we'd like right there. So we can do, let's see, let's go with Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Okay. And I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit. I'm going to just go with a different layer there for fill for engrave. And I'm going to set it right here in the middle. Okay. So now what we would have would be an object like this. And then all these sections here, that would be cut out. This section would be cut out. That would be cut out. Of course, all those pieces would be cut out. And then when you overlap it, you'd be able to see through to the background. Okay, so now we're out here at the laser, and we've got the wood ready, and everything is lined up. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to send the job to the laser. I'm going to speed this bit up a bit, and we don't have to sit and watch the thing the whole time. Okay, so now we have cut everything out, taken it off, and we're just going to add a little bit of paint. Just got it here on a cardboard box. I just took the very back layer, camera in one hand and paint in the other. Add a little paint. Easy peasy. Alright, now we just stack the two layers back together, and we've got a Christmas ornament. The only thing left to do now would be just glue the two layers together, let them dry, and then we can tuck a ribbon right through that hole in the top.
Alright guys, so just like I promised, 15 minutes we'll take this piece of wood and turn it into this Christmas ornament, just like that, easy peasy. If you found any value in today's video, if you would, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps me out tremendously. We post videos periodically, tutorials like this, so stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching.